Now, though, ahead of that, the associate editor at the Wall Street Journal, John Bussey. Welcome, John. You're right in the middle of it. The questions keep changing, and I think that's all the point, is that, Canada, when we started our show today, right before we saw the president, Doug Ford from Ontario said, oh, don't worry about the surcharge. And then we thought, well, maybe Trump will call off some of the tariffs, but he only did on the doubling down. So, the point is, we don't seem to know what to expect, right?
That's correct. And I think the stock market's reflecting that.
Yeah.
It doesn't know what to expect. It's been plummeting recently on expectations that the uncertainty that you just described, Peter Navarro just underscored again, whatever Doug Ford is planning to do with Canadian surcharges looks like it's off the table for the moment, but that's only because he's going down to talk with Ludnick at Commerce about the tariffs. It's just temporarily off. All of that uncertainty is what you're seeing reflected in stock prices. And I think that the big worry, the big story for your viewers to be thinking about is not necessarily what it means for the stock market today, but what it means for the economy over the next 3 to 6 to 12 months.
A lot of those decisions about the economy, especially decisions about how much money they're going to spend or how many people they're going to hire, will be made by these CEOs Trump's about to meet up with. The Business Roundtable, that's the biggest names in the business world. What type of message do you think some of those people, if they get his ear, will want to deliver?
Well, they want to hear more what they heard in the campaign, which is lower taxes, less regulation. The CEOs had a very positive attitude toward this administration all the way through December into January. They were expecting lower taxes, less regulation. What they're getting is on again, off again trade tariffs. Layoffs at the federal government that seem to be kind of herky-jerky. There's really sort of no plan to them. That's causing uncertainty about not just the trade relations that they depend upon for their raw materials and also for their international markets, but who's going to be running the division of the government that they depend upon to get things done? Is this going to raise unemployment? Is the tariffs going to raise inflation? And so now the CEOs are looking and they're saying there's a lot more uncertainty than we were banking on. And it also is going to reflect on how the Fed responds in the future. We were counting on inflation continuing to drop. It was already under 3% when the president took office. Looked like the Fed was going to continue to lower interest rates, make it easier for us to borrow money. That may be off the table because the tariffs might spur inflation.
Yeah, that's that's always been the thinking, that they're kind of inherently inflationary. It's just a matter of when and a matter of time on that. The president, and it's why all of what you just outlined, John. You have reasonable people now in the last few days using the word recession, something that really wasn't happening before the last week or two. So the president made headlines by not making a headline in that weekend interview with Fox when he was asked about a recession and didn't take it off the table. At this Elon Musk event that we just showed a little while ago, he was asked again about whether we'd be headed into a recession possibly. And here's how he said it today. Listen.
See it at all. I think this country is going to boom. But as I said, I can do it the easy way or the hard way. The hard way to do it is exactly what I'm doing, but the results are going to be 20 times greater.
Mr. President, you asked...
And remember, Trump is always right.
And what do you say to Americans?
If you look at what I've said over the last 10 years, Trump has been right.
So the first part is what you focus on. I don't see it at all, meaning a recession. But I did think it was interesting. He almost immediately, John, pivoted to, I'm going to do it the hard way, though. So that's back to you need some pain in order to get the gains.
Right. And the good times are going to be down the road, not now. So how far down the road? And that's what the CEOs at today's meeting of the Business Roundtable are going to be asking him. If it's a recession, if it's the other words that are being used is a period of detox, a period of adjustment, that kind of sounds like recession. Look, the business people count on a degree of certainty just like the consumer does. With uncertainty, what they decide is maybe we won't invest that money right now. We won't do that expansion right now. Let's see how things shake out. This tends to kind of create a spiral downward. With less investment, there's less employment, there's more unemployment. The consumer's also watching this. The consumer's kind of tapped out. Credit card debt is pretty high. Remember, something on the order of 58%, almost 60% of households now own stock. Well, stock market's way down now, and the wealth effect affects the attitude of consumers, who account for 70% of the U.S. economy. So there's a lot of weight on the shoulders of CEOs and on consumers right now, and that might just cause people to pull in their spending. Why not? Let's see how things shake out. Well, if they wait 2-3 weeks or months, then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you do have an economic slowdown.
Yeah, that's all. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.